It's Monday, March 3rd, 2025, and this is episode 330 of You Can Bet on That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet on That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Dr. Mike, how's gambling going?
Good. Saturday I went out to Isle Casino.
Yeah.
And it went pretty well. I ended up about 300 ahead, but I was there for like ever.
It sounded like you were there for like 11 hours or something.
Yeah, I was. And it was up and down. At one point I was up more and one point I was down a lot, but I ended up 300 ahead for the day. So that was nice. I do have one thing to report. Okay. They have 3-2 blackjack there.
Oh, good. It's all 3-2?
I don't know about all, but the couple tables I saw were 3-2.
Okay.
They have some side bets, which you do not have to make.
Good.
No, you're not forced to make those if you want, but blackjack pays 3-2.
Well, that's great. A little bit later in the show, we're going to hear about the Palms in Las Vegas has gone to 3-2 on all their blackjack games.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe the amount of pushback has impacted them.
Maybe, I don't know if it's pushback or if it's more of a marketing thing.
Could be.
It's nice. And, hats off to the San Manuel tribe for trying that.
Yeah. Well, I think business is probably down in Vegas.
Maybe for those strip adjacent casinos like the Palms. Is it a locals casino? Kind of hard to say. It's close to the strip.
Right. And it's, they have to have a draw to get people over there.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Well, my gambling went well. My first casino trip, headed out to Sycuan, had a good night. After using all my free play and tipping and everything, I cleared about $900. So
nice.
Cannot complain. Yeah, it was one of those situations. I remember I used to have these discussions with a guy I used to work with at my old company about how at craps, it's pretty much lose, 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 and then one shooter brings you all the way back, and maybe you win, right? You just got to survive to get to that. That certainly was the case when I was at Sycuan a couple of weeks ago. Just lose, and then finally somebody got the dice, and then boom, that was it.
Well, isn't that what I always said? The whole idea is to be there long enough that you hit that big roll.
That's right. Survive long enough. And unfortunately,
sometimes you can't survive.
You can't survive. You could go a whole trip to Vegas. We've had, 3-day trips to Vegas where we never had that big roll, and it's frustrating, but yes.
Timing, too,
Yep.
Being on the right table at the right time, right shooter.
Right. Yep. Betting the right way.
Yeah, hitting the right way helps.
Well, we got an email from listener Scott. He said, I enjoyed your recent show about making side bets on other players' spots. I've talked about how, I rarely make side bets, and every once in a while somebody else, can I bet on your spot? After side bet shaming me. Oh, well, can I just bet on your spot? And yeah, that's fine. Scott goes on to say, like you, Mark, I've traditionally avoided side bets knowing they have worse odds. But a few years ago, my gambling buddy, who is luckier than me most of the time, was betting my vacant side bet on Let It Ride, I think it was, when a straight flush hit. I was happy for him. Still, it was painful. So now I normally make what I refer to as a spite side bet. I'm not counting on winning. I'm just preventing somebody else from winning on my spot. There is, of course, no good logic to it. In fact, it's rather juvenile. But the spite bet stays. Enjoying the show, and tell Dr. Mike to get his tail to Cherokee with you. So, yeah, I support spite betting in many forms, not just side bets. So sometimes you got to make that spite bet.
Yeah, you got to change things up. That's what he's doing, changing things up.
I think you and I have done that to each other. Oh, you're not going to bet on the 5? Oh, yeah. Oh, you refuse to bet on the... Okay, I'm betting on the 5.
Yep, we've done that quite a bit to each other. Just to teach you a lesson. And if it doesn't work, the person making the bet can just, say nothing. But if it does work, you get to gloat.
That's the great thing, right? Maybe it's all for spite. If the guy didn't make the bet, maybe he'll tease you. But the guy who makes the spite bet and wins, he can be relentless.
Yeah, you can go on all day about that.
All right, we got another email from listener Howard regarding the Hard Rock Casino in Bristol, Virginia. He says, the crapless table is open more often than the regular craps table. Seems like most players don't realize the house edge is much higher versus real craps. The real table won't open until crapless is so crowded you can't move. Would like your opinion on this and keep up the good work. Yeah, this is like a business decision, right? On the part of the casino, right? They're providing the game that they're going to win more money at before they open the other. I don't like it. I understand the casino doing it, but I think certainly at our casino, we would offer a real craps table for, if you only had one open, we'd have real craps table open instead of crapless. I think we saw this at Horseshoe in Blackhawk, Mike. If there was only one table open, it was crapless.
It was crapless. Yeah. And we remember Harrah's Southern California was doing that too.
That's right. I know some people really like crapless, maybe even prefer crapless.
Yeah.
But again, it'd be nice to have the real table open as a default. Oh gosh, Mike, the one at Harrah's. Now, you and I haven't been to Harrah's in a long time now.
Yeah.
But you had to pay the VIG up front on all bets, including those extreme outside numbers, which make the bets terrible.
Right.
So I wouldn't go near that table.
Advantage. I like playing crapless every once in a while. It is kind of fun when a shooter makes, 2 or 3 twos or some 3s and 12s and 4s and 10s. But you can go to a crapless table as long as you don't shoot. And if you're okay with just making place bets, you can just place the inside numbers.
Oh, of course. And
and then the odds are the same.
Yeah.
But, you can't do come bets or line bets because you're going to end up with money on a 3 or something.
Well, yeah, much bigger house edge. So, I mean, it's like you said, if you play kind of the way you do, which is place bets, buy bets, not going to be much difference. Now, I go and I usually do a 3-point molly, right? A pass line and 2 come bets. So it would be terrible for me, like you said.
Right, right. Yeah. Your pass line could be a 2 and your come bets could be a 12 and a 3 or something, right?
That's right.
And if they hit, you're good, but it's all, once again, timing.
Sure. How many times have we been at a regular table and the guy's just rolling horn numbers like crazy? And we think, oh, why aren't we at crapless?
Right.
And then vice versa. You're at a crapless table, nobody's rolling those numbers.
Right. They're rolling 6s and 8s the whole time. And you're thinking, why doesn't this happen when I'm playing regular craps? Well, casinos got to do what they got to do to stay in business.
That's right. Otherwise, they're going under quickly.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah.
Well, Mike, believe it or not, we're coming up on our 10th semi-annual You Can Bet on That poker tournament.
Nice.
Yeah, as this posts, it will be less than 2 weeks away on Sunday, March 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 1 p.m. Eastern Time. So figure out where you live and what 1 p.m. Eastern Time means to you.
Means noon to me.
Means noon to you, means 10 a.m. to me. Figure it out. We're not going to go through every time zone.
If you live in Guam, it's going to be
Just figure it out. All right, so that is Sunday, March 16th. That is the Sunday before March Madness starts, so it's Selection Sunday. 1 p.m. Eastern, it is on PokerStars, their Play Money app. Now, you don't need to register early for the tournament. There isn't a limit on the number of players who can play, and the reason we mention this is because in the past, we've had a lot of players who have registered for the tournament and end up not showing up. But they're still taking a seat, and even though they'll just be blinded off, it affects the way players who do show up play. So you can register any time before the tournament starts. In fact, you can even register up until 20 minutes after the tournament starts. So no reason to register early if you're not sure you're going to play. And if you do register for the tournament and it ends up you can't play, please unregister. Okay, as usual, it's going to be 20,000 play money chips to register. And don't forget that PokerStars gives you 15,000 chips every 4 hours, whether you're playing or not. Just click on the free chips button on the PokerStars homepage.
Right, so if you're new between now and the tournament, you can just log in a couple times and collect your free chips. and you'll have more than enough.
Right, exactly. If you're already in our PokerStars home games group, you can sign up for the tournament as soon as I post it, which will probably be within a week here. If you're not yet in our group, send us an email at youcanbetonthat@gmail.com with your email address and your PokerStars username. We need both of them to get you registered into our group. If you don't yet have a PokerStars username, just go to pokerstars.net, download the app, and sign up. It doesn't cost anything, and again, we'll be using their Play Money tournament option. It will be no limit Texas Hold'em, 3,000 starting stacks, and we will have hourly breaks. We're going to give a $100 Amazon gift card to first place, $50 to second place, $25 to third place, and $25 each to the players that eliminate Dr. Mike and me. It'll probably last about 4 hours if you go all the way to the end. And, even though our next episode is going to drop the day after the tournament, we'll probably record the day before the tournament, so we won't have results. So we won't be talking about the tournament results probably for another 4 weeks. But anyway, always fun in this tournament. So if you're able to, please play.
Yeah, and I am the low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
I play off the seat of my pants, literally.
Yeah, because you're in your own home.
Yeah, in my own home.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first, youcanbetonthat.com, and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, let's move on to voicemails. We got a voicemail from listener Andrew, but he followed up with an email. His voicemail was about his trip to Vegas for his 21st birthday. It was last April. And he said he wasn't crazy about the message. So instead, he just wanted me to read this follow-up email. Shoot, I should have had AI read it. So it seemed like
in some weird
print.
voice.
Yeah, but I'm just going to read it. I could do it in a weird, hello.
Yeah, there you go.
All right. So Andrew says, hello, I know the last time I called in, I wasn't very descriptive on what I had planned. My girlfriend and I went out for my birthday and our 5 years of being together. We stayed at New York, and we thought that was a great first hotel to stay in. Not too busy and lower minimums. That's actually not a bad, I never really thought about that, but that is a pretty good place to go if, you're kind of on a budget and maybe it's your first time, just to get a sense.
Yeah, it's on the strip too.
Yeah. We went to Matt Franco's magic show at the Link, which was amazing and would totally recommend. I was pulled up on stage and saw him doing card tricks right in front of my face. Even though I didn't come home with much money, we were able to gamble the entire time and had an amazing time at the blackjack and craps tables. We went downtown to see older casinos on 420, and that was a terrible idea. It smelled like we walked into a huge bubble filled with marijuana. Other than that thought, it was nice. My girlfriend wasn't the biggest fan of gambling, but she loved the botanical garden at the Bellagio and all the different hotels we visited. I hope you both are doing well and keep on living your best lives. If you would read this on the show rather than listening to my terrible call, that would be awesome. Your call was fine, Andrew, but that's fine. I'll respect your wishes.
Everyone's a worst critic.
Yeah, exactly. So, and plus his email had a little more details than his voicemail did. So glad you had a good trip for your 21st birthday.
Yes, and he points out a good point. There is a lot of stuff in Vegas for people to do if they're not really interested in gambling.
Sure. And, we've had so many discussions recently, Mike, about how if you're a gambler, Las Vegas is not the destination that it once was.
Right.
Again, if you're a gambler. But for people who aren't gamblers, going to a local casino might not be good for them at all. They might hate it, right? But going to Vegas, there's so much more to do.
Yeah, there's plenty of things to look at and just people watch, and there's shows, and there's a lot going on there that's not related to gambling that would keep anyone interested.
Sure.
Even kids. I remember when my girls were underage, just walking through the mall at Caesars, was fun for them.
Yeah, if you plan your trip correctly, you can go with kids, right? That doesn't include a lot of casino time, but sure.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear from our buddy Mississippi Rob.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Mississippi Rob calling back in. Since your comments on an episode or two ago, I have lost my voice. I have gained about 100 pounds, and I grew about a foot. So that's good news for me, at least in the physical department, minus the voice. Just to give you an update that I said I'd call back in with my last Biloxi trip on New Year's Day. Played mostly Baccarat for about a little over 4 hours. Side note, these Baccarat tracking sheets are great for taking notes just to remember what happened. So that's kind of great. It kind of keeps me busy, and it's good for kind of making some little notes so I could call in to tell you guys what happened. So just to kind of update just some basic facts, had about a $300 buy-in because, just trying to play for a few hours. $25 minimum table on Baccarat there in Biloxi, which is great for low minimum guys like me. Played about $25 a hand with $5 on the Dragon bonus. Played for a little over 4 hours, 136 hands. The first shoe, player shoe, which is great for me. The side note to that was I think I maybe hit 2 bonuses out of like 70-something hands. So it was terrible. Somehow on a player shoe, I still lost. Going into the second shoe, though, did make some things back. Right off the bat, 9 out of the first 15 hands were banker naturals. So it was going pretty poorly there right off the bat in that one. But it did make a good little comeback. Did hit a new dealer tie bet. Somebody starts yelling it out, new dealer, tie's got a hit. So, of course, I threw some money on it, and, of course, it hit. So that's a guaranteed nice little tidbit for anybody out there that wants to try that. It's a guaranteed winner. I'm sure Dr. Mike can verify that for me. And then just some other notes as far as IP Biloxi. It's still kind of my go-to right now. It's obviously not as nice as the Beau Rivage, but it does have some positives to it. The pop music that I know we kind of talked about, Mark, a few years back at maybe the first Biloxi meetup you came to, pop music is still great in there. They need to turn it up a couple notches to really get it going. I love them to be just pumping it in there like the Golden Gate in Las Vegas. That's my favorite vibe as far as the casino goes. The drink service is getting kind of tough in there. They had one lady for the whole 4 hours or so I was playing, just covering an incredible amount of tables. So she was doing her best. I was trying to tip her well, but she could only do so much. So I've kind of prepped myself for our Biloxi trip next week that I'm just going to take my breaks and go up to the bar and get my own when I need it. But also great pit boss. They were just passing out cigarettes to the high-end bettors, even without asking. So thanks a lot for all y'all do. Just good notes. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
All right, good. So, yeah, again, that was Rob's New Year's trip, and then sort of the official community Biloxi trip. Gosh, was this last week, end of February, so hopefully everybody had a good time there.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Yeah, I do like the loud music too, like at Golden Gate and Circa. That's kind of my thing. Yeah, these Baccarat sheets, they give you out these sheets where you can fill out the results because it doesn't mean anything, right? It's kind of like keeping track of a roulette table, right? But like Rob said, it's great for kind of keeping track of what happened. So he was able to go back and say, oh, geez, banker won 9 hands in a row or whatever. You've got that record there, and you can call into your favorite podcast and let them know exactly what happened.
Well, when Rob was talking about that new dealer tie, you know how in craps, Rob, the 9 is called a natural right back?
Yeah.
A natural right back. The version of that in Baccarat is when there's a new dealer, it's called B right back.
B right back.
Yeah. Instead of A right back, it's B right back.
So the dealer is saying,
tie.
The dealer is saying, I'll be right back because he's going on break. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He's at B right back.
Uh-huh.
And then it means tie is coming. Just like instead of making your point, I'll be right back and tie. See how that all plays out, Mark?
Sort of. I think you kind of reached for that, but sure, I'll give it to you.
Well, the craps is an A game. Baccarat is a B game.
Okay. Good one.
That's all I could come up with.
You don't need to come up with content just for the sake of content. You should probably try to come up with good content.
No, you don't say. That is good content. Be right back. It sounds good.
It actually is the best content I think we've had for some time. All right. Please, let's move on. Next call.
Mark, Dr. Mike. This is Panay from Biloxi, and finally went and made the trip, convinced my brother and the old man to take a quick trip up to Harrah's up in Cherokee, which I was very apprehensive about because the Harrah's down in Biloxi here is such a dump.
Yep.
But wow, Harrah's in Cherokee is really nice. Y'all need to fire it up and come on over there. It was excellent cruise at both places. Most of the time it was $15 tables. Thing I love, 10 times odds all the time, no matter what table, crapless included. Only bad thing is you buy the 4 and the 10 with the VIG up front. So you got to pay your buck ahead of time, which That's the only bad thing. You know, most Caesars properties, they don't keep up this nice, but I got to tell you, they've done a great job. There's some great hikes and other things around the area. Come on down. They'll show you a good time.
All right, Dr. Mike, any details on our upcoming Cherokee trip?
Well, there are no details worked out for me yet.
But it's been 2 weeks since we've last talked about it.
I know. It's just there's so much going on, and I have to figure out what I'm going to do this summer. I might be in charge of coordinating e-learning for a school. So, yeah, I have to see if that turns out that's what they want me to do, or if I'm just going to be free all summer or what. So I'm on hold. Probably, let's see, this is March, April, probably in May, I will know better.
All right. You know, I'm available whenever. Yeah, anytime, Mike.
I know. Well, you're not retired and have this busy schedule like I do.
That's right. I'm not retired. That's why I can go whenever I want.
You can go whenever you want. You just tell your boss I'm going.
All right. Stay tuned, everybody. Next call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Nick from Connecticut. I've called a couple times before. I went over to Foxwoods the other night for a boxing match, and I just have a quick story, which I had a losing night overall, right? But I felt like a time traveler. I felt like a real predictor of outcomes. I had played a little blackjack, basically broken even, and was walking away from that table with $200 in green chips in my hand. And as I'm walking away from that table, I look over and see that there is a craps table where someone's shooting. They're on a come-out roll, and they're on the other side of the table. So my side is completely empty, aside from one person. And I just go over there, I just have a feeling, and I just put $25, horn high 12, and then I put $50 in the field, right? He rolls the dice, aces. So I'm excited, right? I get paid 2-1 in the field, and I get the 30-1 on the $5. And so obviously I keep it all out there. I put the field to 75, and I double the horn bet, right, to 50. And he throws the dice. It's his horn high 12, and he hits the 12, right? I get paid. I bring the horn up to 125, and I put, I think, 200 in the field, and he rolls easy 6. Love the show, guys. Thanks.
All right. So not bad, right? That's at least $600 profit. I'm not sure at Foxwoods if they pay triple on the 12 in the field. But regardless, a little over $600. Not bad for 3 rolls.
Comeback.
Yeah.
He didn't say no. Nick did not tell us if he won the boxing match.
Oh, I didn't realize he was actually in the boxing match, but the way that he phrased it, okay. Gosh, Nick, let us know if he won. I mean, he sounded okay. He didn't seem tired or beaten up or anything, so maybe he dominated.
Yeah, he could have won that and then just lost a little playing in the casino afterwards.
That's right, yeah. He took his purse and blew it all at blackjack and then won a little bit back at craps.
Can you imagine me in a boxing match? I'd be so anxious to go play craps. I'd just let the other guy hit me in the face. I'd go down, and then I, without even going to change or anything, I'd just go out and start playing craps. My blood all over me. I'm in some like weird shorts, no top.
You know what? He wouldn't even make contact, Mike. He'd take a swing at you, and you'd go down before.
Before he got hit.
Before his fist even got to your face, you'd be down, and you wouldn't be able to. You'd try to get back up.
No, I'd be on the ground.
No, you'd still try to get back up.
Yelling for someone to help me up. Help me up,
Lynn. I'm down in the middle of the ring, Lynn.
Help. I'm crawling over to my corner for my cut man. You're not even cut. I know. Just help me up. I want to play craps.
Now I really want to know what the backstory is for this whole thing. How did you end up in the boxing ring? Who paid for this? Who wanted to see this?
Who wanted to? Who doesn't want to see that? It's a long story.
All right.
We don't have time on a small podcast like this.
All right. Well, people have that image burned in their mind now. Oh,
You know how
dear.
those boxing shorts are, right? I'll probably have some frilly things coming out of the bottom,
Really thing, little tassels.
little tassels and things like that. You won't be able to see them because my belly will be hanging over so much.
All right.
Oh.
Nick, who knew that your call would provide so much good content for this episode? All right. Next up is Christian.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Christian from North Carolina again. I just saw some news in Vegas at the Palms. They're changing all of their blackjack to 3-2. So they had a mixture of 3-2, of course, and 6-5. But they made a change that it's all going to be 3-2 now. So I thought that was pretty cool. Next time I'm in Vegas, definitely going to check out the Palms. I've never been there, so we'll check it out. It gives me a reason to get in the door. Another thing I wanted to mention to you guys, last time I was at the casino, Caesars, Virginia, my wife and I wanted to play blackjack, but most of the tables were 25, so it's a little bit higher for our bankroll. But we found a $15 table, and they were just opening it, so we were like, oh, awesome. So we bought in, and the dealer starts giving us $25 chips, and I asked them for $5 chips, and the dealer said she doesn't have any. So we were like, okay, and the tip off was right there. So I looked at him and I was like, can we get any other chips? And he said that he put in an order to have some brought over to the table, but he didn't know when they would get there. So essentially it's a $15 table that they're not letting you play $15 a hand because they don't have $5 chips. So I just thought that was kind of ridiculous considering we want to play blackjack, but the lowest is $25. And, you know, they have all these other tables that are closed that have stacks of $5 chips. But I know there's probably a process to that. But yeah, I just thought that was crazy. I appreciate the show, guys. Hopefully you guys can make it to Cherokee at some point. I think June is what you guys said, but would love to meet up with you guys there and play some craps. So thanks for the show again. Talk later. Bye.
Yeah, June, Dr. Mike, early June. You're all set. Yeah, just make the plans. I'll see you there. You know, I've got some questions about this $15 blackjack table.
Well,
I want to know what the resolution was.
yeah, well, they ordered chips. Obviously, they opened the table, and there weren't any red chips in the rack.
Yeah. So,
Right,
I understand.
They had to order some. I don't think they were trying to make him play 25 because even if it was a $25 table, you need red chips.
Yeah.
Because what if somebody bets $30 or somebody bets $40
Or somebody
something
bets $25 and hits blackjack.
and hits blackjack?
Right,
Yeah.
they need-
So no, they need red chips. It just somebody obviously had closed that down without red chips in there.
Anyway,
And
Christian,
they probably opened it and like, oh my gosh.
yeah,
there's
I mean,
no-
it could be, but I wonder what happened. Christian, did you just walk away? Were they able to go to another table and make some change?
yeah, they
it
couldn't
just-
even start the game without
Yeah.
red chips unless
Strange.
they were going to use white ones and give you a ton of white. And they can't open another table's rack that's
No.
locked up
No.
because that's all counted and you know, they can't just pull money out of there. They have to get it out of the cage
You know, Mike,
to keep their accounting.
it
proper.
kind of reminds me of when we were at Diamond Joe Worth and one of the pit came over to you and asked to borrow one of your chips, right? Because they needed to make some change or they were counting up tips or something. Mike, can I have one of those? I'll bring it right back. So, I mean, if they're willing to do that, you'd think they'd be able to, you know, go over to the craps table and make change for 100 and green or something. But
Yeah, right.
anyway, I was just curious what ultimately happened.
You can't tell somebody it's $25 table and we only take bets in multiples of 25. 30 won't be good.
Right. And
40
if you hit blackjack, it's 1-to-1. That's
it's
just the way it
1-to-1.
is. It's out of our control. We don't have the chips. What do you expect us to do?
Yeah, right. They're making them in the back. As soon as Mike's done with that cage match that he's in, he'll be over.
And then, yeah, he's talking about 3-2 at the Palms. Again, good news. Hopefully we see some spreading around. I doubt it. It made the news. It's going to get him maybe some extra business. And hopefully they'll stick with it, though. And it won't be, you know, just something they do for a month and then change. Gosh, Mike, you and I, we haven't been to the Palms. I think it was relatively new the last time we went.
Yeah, well, it was owned by those brothers.
And you know, Mike, I was thinking about it. It was the very first casino we ever saw TVs up in the table games area, so you could.
Yeah.
Remember going up to a craps table? Mike, look, there's a TV there. We can watch the game.
Yeah.
That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, that length of time, Mark, and still they've got one TV with like Star Wars Episode 4.
It's
on
always
or
Star
something.
Wars. You know, because what it is, they had it on TNT for like the NBA or something.
Right.
And then, you know, TNT's going
Game
to show
ended, no one
every Star
changes
Wars
it.
movie. You know.
I tried to get the pit boss at Isle Casino to pay me $15 an hour, and I would come and just monitor all the TVs and make sure that every TV not only had sports, but had the most exciting, most relevant game on,
Okay.
and occasionally serve some drinks to people.
Okay. Just when you had time, when the TVs
Yeah.
were all looking good, you'd serve some
Everything
drinks.
was looking good. I'd go over to that, they have a drink stations there.
Yeah.
And I would just, make some drinks and go around. Hey, you guys, you need a Coke?
Yeah.
You need a root beer?
Yeah. $15. What did they go for it?
She said she'd run it by the administration.
She was lying.
Probably.
Yeah.
But I think that's a deal for them.
They'd get so many good comment cards. Wow, I used to kind of just think this place was okay, but recently all the TVs have had the most relevant, exciting sports on them.
And that bloody man walking around giving everyone drinks.
He's not well.
Yeah, need to get rid of him. You know what? When all the TVs were situated perfectly, I would parade around the casino with my hands straight up in the air.
And everybody give you a nice little round of applause. There'd be this polite applause from all the players.
Kind of embarrassing, but polite. But applauding.
Right.
anyway.
Oh, good for you. And then now
Great.
go seek medical help. All right, let's hear from our buddy Ariel.
Hey, Mike, or Dr. Mike and Mark. So this is Ariel. Just want to do a trip report. So went on a Carnival cruise, got on the Firenze boat, 5-day cruise to the Mexican Riviera, Cabo San Lucas and Ensenada. That was pretty cool. They had like a promotion where they gave me $500 worth of gambling chips. And they didn't take the chips. So you bet it. If you win, you keep the chips. You just keep playing it and whatnot. So I was able to get that through. And then after I got some points, they gave me an additional $500, which is awesome. So if you guys are doing the cruise thing, then that's great. They do have craps. They take the promo chips at the craps table, double odds on the pass line, but everything else is the same. And they did have the small, tall, and all, and I was able to hit it shooting, so I made pretty good money on the very first day. I ended up just kind of evening out throughout the trip. Played everything, blackjack, slots, lots of crap, so it was pretty fun. We had a really good time, and then we were able to get like extra promos when we were on there. So I just found it like interesting that they had promo chips that they did not take away after you win, so that was pretty cool. Anyway, thank you for everything that you guys do. Have a good one. Hopefully I see you guys soon. I know I haven't seen you guys in a while. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I know. And without you here, Mike, I'm going out less frequently, and I just don't go to Harrah's anymore.
Yeah, at
So-
some point when I come to visit, we should probably just go to Harris just to show
Yeah, we
up.
should. Depending on how long you're out here, go to Harrah's and then maybe
Right.
some of the ones over by us. Yeah.
Yeah, when it's a quick trip and I'm only there a few days, it's kind of like
It doesn't make sense. Let's just go to
let's
the
just go
closest
to somewhere
one.
close. Yeah, that's pretty good for a cruise ship.
I agree. $500 and 500 more if you earn a certain number of points, and
Yeah.
they're true free play chips in that they stay out there till you lose. So nice.
That's great. I wonder if he got to choose how the $500 was. Was
the
it-
increments, you mean?
Yeah, could you say, give me 500 and, all nickels, or, how sometimes
Sure.
500 and it's like one $500 chip or.
Right.
or-
I would hope that it's at least
$100.
$25 chips.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
if they'd go or lower than that, but yeah.
Yeah, I would hope it was that. Also, that double odds is kind of standard.
Yeah.
But it's nice they have the all tall small
Yeah.
on a cruise ship.
Yeah, a lot of times cruise ships don't have any of those side bets at craps.
no. He did not say if it was something he did on his own, or if it was one of those casino giveaways.
He didn't mention that. So that's interesting. Yeah, I assume.
Because if it was a casino giveaway thing, then it was free for him. And then that's still a great deal to give you that much.
I'm kind of assuming that's the case because cruises are very popular giveaways for different casinos. So I'm assuming that's how he got it, especially if he got the 500 in table game chips. So
right. And that probably means that the casino's open more than it would be on a regular cruise.
Could be.
Hour-wise.
Yeah, I see exactly what you're saying. If they are really catering to gamblers.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Last call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. Hope you're having a fine day. This is Other Jim from Columbus, Ohio, calling from sunny downtown Las Vegas. Something came up the other day that reminded me of you guys, and I thought you'd get a kick out of it. So, a lot of the casinos have those roll-to-win games in them, the electronic table crafts with the one dealer and so forth. Well, those games have like a timer on them, so that when it's time to make your bets, you've got so many seconds, 30 seconds or 60 or whatever it is. Over at Fremont, our dealer Simon taught us, I don't know if it's called the roll-to-win protocol, or I'm calling it Simoning your bet now, because this guy likes to get your bets in and done fast. So what he'll do is every time it's time to bet, he'll go around the table and get a thumbs up from everybody when they're ready to go. So it's kind of fun watching the table. You make your bets and everybody's sitting here thumbs upping good old Simon and so forth over there. And I noticed a couple other casinos, the dealers are doing the same thing. So I don't know. I thought you guys might like that. And I'm going to start simoning my bets at even the regular table, I'm afraid. So I'm going to be sitting there like a goober with my thumb up. But anyways, that's it. Oh, we're up for the trip. We've hit the all tall, small, all that thing several times. And Craps is being nice to us. See ya.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing that. Just thumbs up.
Just thumbs up.
Way in the middle of the table, too, so it's really clear.
Yeah.
Sir, what are you doing? I'm letting you know that I'm done. I'm not making any other bets.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the way I play...
It's only courteous. It's only courteous.
I'll probably have my thumb out, within 5 seconds of the dice being rolled, right? Because I haven't made a come bet or whatever. Thumbs up, right? Everybody else is trying to decide what they're going to do. I'm ready. If you wondered if I'm ready or not, I am.
Why didn't you just do that with your whole life and not just at the craps table?
Thumbs up?
Yeah, just thumbs up.
Sir, can I help you? I'm ready.
You're walking through a mall, Mark. Thumbs up. I've got everything I need. I'm heading to checkout. Okay. Yeah, that's a nice policy. I like that. Thumbs up. Yep. And if you're not ready, what do you do?
Oh, you could do thumbs down, or you could just yell or just make a tone.
Your hand's just flat. Like, remember my dad would signal me how he's doing.
Oh, from far away. You look at
from far away. Yeah. He'd go like this. Hand would be flat, and he'd kind of wave it back and forth, meaning he was kind of even, up and down.
Yeah.
And if he was up, it was this, and if he was down, it'd be not only just a thumbs down, but he would pump it.
Oh, okay. Meaning he was really down.
Really down, yeah. That was our little signal. So why I needed to know that, I don't know.
Oh, you wanted to know.
I kind of
How's my dad doing? You wanted to know. And then you'd send back a similar signal, although I don't think you were very truthful when you sent
most
back
of the time not.
Yeah.
I didn't want him to get too depressed. Speaking of bubble craps, at Isle Casino there, they have one of those machines that's like individual bubble craps.
Yeah.
And it's crapless.
Yeah.
$3 limit.
You got to be careful, though, because, some of those crapless bubble craps machines pay place bet odds on those extreme numbers, which are not as good as buy bet odds. Some might have a choice, but player beware.
I didn't check it out that close, but a lot of people were playing that. I guess it's kind of fun, but it's kind of like playing a slot machine by yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it's more interesting to me than a slot, but I'll do it every once in a while if I'm like trying to kill time or I'm waiting for somebody.
It's great.
I don't want to bother buying in at a craps table and, spending all that time.
Right, if you want to kill a little time, or if you just, have social anxiety or something.
Sure.
You sit there. Right.
Yeah. All right, Dr. Mike. That's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations from the International Brotherhood of Gobbling Donkeys, from Brian and Sarah, from Josh, from the guys at Crap Vegas, from James, and from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from Raji. Remember, he made a bet for us on the Chiefs for the Super Bowl, which did not win. But he said, I meant to send you this donation. Mark and Dr. Mike will never be losers at Casino Raji. So even though KC lost, the show is still a winner. Keep up the great work. So again, thanks, Raji. And then also a donation from Scott, who we heard from earlier about the spite bets. After batting 0% in karma donations, I'm batting 100%, 2 for 2, on my reverse karma donations. So sending another one of those for an upcoming trip to Cosmo and Venetian for the first weekend of March Madness. Oh, we'll have great fun there, Scott. I wish we could join you. Dr. Mike, once you're really retired, please, let's go to Vegas in March Madness, please.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Once I'm retired.
Okay.
Yeah. It's here already, a couple of weeks.
Well, I know that's
the teams.
2 weeks. I mean, the day that we have our poker tournament, once the poker tournament's over, they'll be announcing the teams within hours.
Yes. And then it'll be Tuesday they'll start playing.
Tuesday, those play-in games. Yeah.
Playing games. Yeah. Is there one Wednesday too?
There might be. Yeah. That sounds right.
And
Tuesday, Wednesday, and then
it's the big weekend.
Then it starts
Thursday,
in
Friday,
earnest on
Saturday,
Thursday,
Sunday.
yeah.
Yes. And thank God I'm working in a school with a smart board that I can just put TV on.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So we can have the games going constantly.
I love when I assume they still do this, but when you're watching on a computer like CBS Sports, there's a button there that you can click. It's called like the boss button. And you click it and it brings up a spreadsheet, some like nondescript spreadsheet. So if your boss is walking by, then they'll see the spreadsheet on your screen instead of the game. See, you dump on technology, Mike, but every once in a while it really comes through for the average
every
Joe.
once in a while somebody has a good idea in that boss button. You know what, Mark?
Yeah.
If you've got a boss who has a problem with you watching that first weekend of all those games, you should probably quit that job.
Yeah, that's not a good job.
No, you're not working. You have an overlord.
And everybody knows there's zero productivity on Thursday and Friday that week.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe the next week there might not be as many games, so
Yeah, and they're later in the day, so you can get
right.
done.
You can get things done.
Right, but this
That
starts
first
in the
day,
morning. Yeah, it should just. What is it with our Congress and Senate and all of? I mean, that should be a holiday.
It should be a holiday, Thursday and Friday, the Monday after Super Bowl.
Yeah, the Monday after Super Bowl. Somebody up there has to start doing something that's good for America.
Yeah, write a sternly worded letter, Dr. Mike.
Yes, I think I
help.
will. Yeah. To everybody. I'm just going to.
The postage alone. Yeesh.
Yeah.
Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet on That merchandise. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. I'm always adding to it. Yeah, it's not very searchable, and sometimes you'll see a movie listed there, and it's like, well, why is this listed? I can't even tell. Hey, it's a big list, all right? I spend time on it. Hey, we'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, a.k.a. X, at YouCanBetOnThat, and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. Dr. Mike?
Well, Mark, I love your passion for the movies and TV shows and all the gambling-related stuff. If only people could show that much passion in everything they do. And no matter how much crap they get for it, they still put it out there.
If only people could have as much passion as I do for generating the TV listings and movie pages.
Yes.
That probably don't get much traffic on our website.
But you still do it anyway.
Every week. Oh, I got to update that.
You know what? I'll include that in my letter.
Okay, good. Thanks.
And by the way, in all bold letters. So anyway, this is an exciting time of the year. We've said this before.
Yep.
Every year I say this. We got the NCAA tournament coming up, baseball starting, golf's in full swing now.
Ooh, pun.
You got NASCAR, basketball and hockey are still going on.
Yep.
And there is actually a football league.
Okay, sure, there is.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could watch any sport this time of the year, which is...
Well, and soccer's starting. We have a team now. San Diego.
Where are they going to play?
It's Snapdragon. Yeah, same place the women's team plays. Yeah, the Wave.
Good. Well, they're getting some use out of that stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on and I hardly feel retired. I just got so much to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, Dr. Mike, again, come on. There's so many casinos out there that we need to go to. This is what we do.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, I'll make a resolution to be more proactive on things I do. I don't do quite enough.
Yeah. Have you been keeping track of your gambling to the penny?
Yes, to the penny.
All right, good.
Anyway, I hope everyone's enjoying this time of year. And, the weather back here, it's warming up.
Yeah, I saw that.
We
It's
had
quite a bit better.
Days in the 50s. So
great.
Enjoy the outside. Enjoy all the sports inside. That's all I got for today. I mean, important thing is that we're still here and we're doing what we do.
Right. Well, thank you for listening, everybody, and we hope to see everybody at the tournament.
Yep, thanks.
Okay, let's thin this herd. Untucked shirt, no thank you. Born in San Diego, yikes.
An adult named Todd?
So, this is what online dating is like?